What is going down, world? I go by the name Black Pegasus, and they are stating that there are armed protests being planned in all 50 cities at the capitals in America. Linwood has lost his damn mind, and there's a lot to unpackage here. Let's get into it. 10 toes down, watch them bring it back. Walk the long mile, check the internet. Hustling and grind, yes, I'm into that. So, I was just reading an article on CNN. Why do I look at CNN articles? Just to see what narrative they're trying to push now, and what's going to be gaslit next. But the topic of today, FBI warns that armed protests being planned at all 50 state capitals and in Washington, D.C. The FBI has received information indicating armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals. So it's saying they've been saying that these protests are supposed to start January 16th and linger on beyond the inauguration. Do I think they are? I don't know. I don't trust the media, especially some of these medias that really push specific narratives. So I don't know. But what we can say, let's dive into this. One, I've been seeing these clips of Alex Jones popping up recently, and he's totally denouncing the whole QAnon movement and all that stuff, saying that I think the analogy he made, it's like like the Nigerian email scam. He's like, that's what it is, 0.5. He's like, they're taking bits and pieces of information and weaponizing it and creating these narratives to like radicalize people, basically. And he had mentioned that he's like, no, but like there's a consistent message going out to, typically Republicans or conservatives, because that's who this tends to affect, because that's who went into the Capitol. When you say storm the Capitol, it's so strange too, because security let most of them in, but then you did see people scaling walls, breaking windows. But now that more information, because we are in the age of information, we've seen a bunch of people from the right trying to stop these people from breaking in. So it's just like the riots and protests we saw this summer. I remember seeing moments where you would see, let's say, like, for example, I saw the specific moment where this black lady was urging this rioter or protester to stop, don't break the windows, don't do this. And now this is during the BLM riots. And it was just interesting to see that. Now, fast forward, we have these, you've seen some of the Trump supporters telling these people who are going into the Capitol, they're like, stop, don't do this. This isn't how we work. So you're seeing a lot of things play out in real time. But what I will say is there's a messaging going out where it's telling everyone not to take the bait. This is a mousetrap. The cheese is right there. Be angry, be emotional, go to an armed protest, and it's bait, and it's not going to work out for any of us, okay? Because what they're going to do is peg one side to be super radical. They'll take a handful of people, just like the Capitol. You have some idiots, some radicals, some morons that didn't do anything, just went in there taking selfies, stealing stuff, breaking stuff, acting an ass. Now people end up dying because of their irrational decision. And now a whole side of politics, which is typically Republican and conservative, look like radical people, and that's what they look like because of a handful of people. And this is what I think these armed protests are trying to do. They're trying to radicalize a group, and it's not. It's for a purpose. It's so, things. I'm not going to say martial law necessarily, but if things escalate and keep escalating, it's just going to add to the shutdown narrative that we're already in. Shutdowns, lockdowns. And we know, with President Joe Biden and them, they're not opposed to just printing up money and letting people stay at home, which is not good for the American people or our country. Like, that's always been my biggest fight with everything going on, is that we do not need to be shut down still. We shouldn't be shut down still. And we have to figure this out another way. But it seems like they want these things, it's like strategic now. And there's a part of me that even thinks Trump is in on it. You have these crazy characters like Linwood going like, dude, when he said to execute Mike Pence, like, who does that? That's just ridiculous rhetoric. And I understand there's a state of emergency they're trying to make you feel, but you always got to take a step back and look. When someone's trying to get you emotionally charged, why is that? So I compete a little bit in jiu-jitsu, but I'm into combat sports. And if you watch Conor McGregor fight, the main thing he does, he tries to get into people's head. He tries to make them emotional, because emotional decisions lead to mistakes. That goes with anything. If any of you guys ever read The Art of War, there's a lot of great strategies and tactics in there as well. But they're all being used in real time right now against the American people. Right now, the left is going to be like, oh, well, F them. They are radical. They are racist. They are this. Everyone on that side. And that's where you can see the ignorance, because that's a blanket statement. That's stereotyping just what they don't want, right? Racism is stereotyping, profiling. But and they're like, no racism, don't stereotype us, don't profile us. I'm a black man, black and Latino, right? I face these things, so I get it, I see it. But when it fits their narrative, they're just willing to throw a blanket on the whole right side. I've told you guys, I'm not conservative, I'm not progressive left. I'm figuring it out as I go, right? Like, I'm progressive in the sense that weed should be legal on the federal and state level, right? That's how I feel. But then at the same time, I'm not for late-term abortion, so I'm conservative there, have some conservative family values. So it is what it is. I just call it how I see it. You guys, if you're watching this and I can be a beacon and a vessel to promote some truth, my truth is, do not go to an armed protest. There's a lot of things, that is taking our livelihoods, disenfranchising some of us. Some of us don't believe in getting the shots that they're giving out. We don't believe in the shutdowns. But this is not the time to have an evasive action. We, Democratic Republic, we can figure this out. We can still work, even though it seems like everyone's getting censored, because you speak against the narrative. But I don't believe this is the time. This is I guess what they call it, a false flag. This is a setup. This is bait. It's called baiting. It's a mousetrap. I just thought, you have these eccentric characters they're trying to prop up right now, like Linwood, the Q guy, these QAnon people. You don't want them representing you. You know what I'm saying? I know these politicians these politicians are wacky, but you don't want these Linwoods, these QAnon people representing you. You have a mind. You're an individual. We have a lot of information. We got to cut through the chaff, the fat, and get to the real stuff. But anyways, that's my take on it. I'd like to hear what you guys think of these armed protests. Will armed protests start going down the pipeline? There's a lot of things that never happened, and that's why I'm able to spot this so quickly. Let's see if these blackouts really happen. If they don't happen, you guys have to start shifting. You have to start seeing where these narratives are starting, so we can assess the stuff that's coming down the pipeline. They're talking about blackouts, martial law, armed protests, and even when they're like, we're about to release the Kraken. You know what I'm saying? So people in general have to start taking this and then processing it. Also, with the censorship, censorship is on the rise, purging accounts. All this is playing out in real time. I'm learning. So, maybe I'll change my perspective on some of this in the future. But as of now, I know this is a mousetrap, this armed protest stuff. It's so blatantly a mousetrap. And when CNN and all the certain media outlets are covering it and pushing it, they're putting the intention in the world. They're gaslighting it, just like they did with Biggie and Pac. The media gaslighted it, and both brothers ended up getting killed. Both brothers, both sides. Just think about that. And I know it's two different things. It's not politics, but if you go back and watch the Biggie and Pac beef, you'll realize how much the media played a part in that, and things, escalating until boom. And in this case, it would benefit the powers that be to just keep locking us down, keep dividing us, and keep all the mayhem going. And we don't want that, because America, we got to rise above this, man. I'm telling you guys. Anyways, it's your boy Black Pegasus. Please let me know what you think of my little commentary here, this segment. Like, share, and comment all the content. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. And check out some of my music. Anyways, love you guys. Peace out. Stay strong. Stay safe. Love, light, and beyond. BKG until the death of me. Peace.
10 toes down, watch them bring it back. Walk the long mile, check the internet. Hustling and grind, yes, I'm into that.